Hello and welcome to another episode of Intune.training, the place to learn how to use Microsoft Intune, the Steve and Adam Show with Ben, the intern. Hey boys.
Hey.
Hey Adam.
Hey, let's do some cool stuff today.
Okay.
All right. What are we going to do?
Okay, so this week...
Are we talking about apps?
Yeah, let's do it.
How do we call that as being cool? Like,
well,
hey, it's better than security.
Stick around. Yes, it's better than security. You've been dragging us through the security mud for a long time. I get a turn. Okay. So Ben's going to drive for us today, and I'm going to walk through. I wrote a blog post on this week, and just figured it might work to do a demo for different audience and stuff. So since Windows 10 came out, admins have basically tried every which way to remove inbox apps, as many of the built-in apps as possible. Now, some of them come in different ways depending on the version of the edition or version of the OS that you install, and they have changed over time. So like with 2004, with the enterprise SKU, like the start menu is real clean, it looks nice, but like on the home SKU, you're still getting like Candy Crush or some other, home user type apps and stuff, which you shouldn't be using in the enterprise anyway. So yeah, but there are some.
Well, are we sitting there and saying that we are the fun police and that you can't do stuff on in the enterprise?
I said you shouldn't be using the home SKU in the enterprise.
Yes.
I don't care about the games.
Okay. Just wanted to put that out there.
I was going to say yes,
Steve.
100%.
Episode 1, I think we covered the "We're not the fun police." One of those. We've. However,
but I'm still going to reinforce that we are not the fun police.
That is true. Yes. So there are oftentimes legitimate business cases for needing to remove apps that come built into the image. For instance, the Mail app. Yep. If you're using Outlook, you probably don't want the Mail app on your devices as well.
Especially since that taskbar.
Yeah, so it's already on it's on their taskbar, and it's there, and it's not Outlook, and users are going to click it, and they're going to try to log in or try to connect Outlook to it, and it may not work, and then they're going to so we want, as an enterprise, we want all of our users to be using Outlook for their mail, to have a consistent user experience, less confusion, so we want to remove the Mail app. Well, there are various different ways to do this. The most common and well-known way is Mike Niehaus, not throwing Mike under the bus at all. Mike is one of the folks who released a script that has been used in the community for a long time, which is get AppX provision package, and you provided a list of XML, or like you provided an XML list of AppX package names, and you tell it to remove package. And you can either do that during a task sequence, or you can run that from Intune as a script, or you can run it on a per user basis, or on the whole machine. And so in my enterprise, we do it during offline servicing. So we take the ISO, we spin it up when I'm injecting all the security updates into it. I also am removing the inbox apps. The side effect of that, which I've discovered, is that once I have deployed that SKU that ISO to my enterprise with the apps removed, if I do a reset on it, those apps stay gone.
Yes.
Well, not too long ago, we had a case where we said, hey, we've removed OneNote, the Windows 10 OneNote from our machines. And we said, hey, we kind of want to get that back. There was other times where I've seen people actually remove the store from their machines, and they wanted to get it back. And that's not easy.
And 2004, with Notepad being moved to the store, if you don't have a very concise list, you're going to lose Notepad.
Yep. Now, there's another, Cody Mathis. He was on with us last week. Cody wrote a blog post on SCCMF12 twice on talking about how to bring those back, where you flip a registry key and then the next feature update, it'll reprovision them for you and stuff. So there's definitely ways to get it back. Point of today's episode is to talk about how to do this without scripting, and to use the Windows Store apps to auto uninstall these apps that you don't want from all of your devices with very little, just any admin can do this, and it'll be visible and see in your minimal admin effort to make this happen.
So it's an exam question.
Exactly.
This is how you remove apps with the minimal level of admin effort.
Yes.
Exactly. Now, Steve and Adam, the real kicker to this is that if you follow this guide, the benefit is that if for whatever reason you need to reprovision the software, you can. Unlike the other solutions.
You literally switch from uninstall to install and magic.
That's right. Cool. So let's go through a couple of them. Yeah.
Yep. So hop over into the endpoint.microsoft.com portal, which you're at, and go to apps. And go to all apps, and let's take a peek and see what do we have. Okay, so we talked about the mail app, so let's try to find that.
So,
okay,
Ben, do you want to just select Windows on the left-hand side for platform? Because then it'll actually auto-filter to Windows devices.
All the iOS.
Okay, so that's a neat little trick for people playing at home is you can now filter automatically by platform by just selecting it on the left-hand side.
Nice.
Okay, so we'll notice here that we don't have very many apps listed, and many of the inbox apps that we're talking about are not listed. Well, the way to get them is you have to go to your business store, and we have to add them. So hop over to the businessstore.microsoft.com, and you've already signed in. Yeah. And so what we're going to do is just go shop for my group, or you can search from the store there. That's fine.
It's the same thing.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so I'm just going to search for mail.
Yep. Let's try that. And unfortunately, that's the first one that comes up. So we'll do mail and calendar.
Yep.
And then we'll go ahead and get the app. And by doing this is all you have to do to get this into your inventory. And this will sync now into Intune, and it'll actually sync into ConfigMgr if you've got the store connected there. You do not have to go and add this to your private store. You don't have to advertise this in the store to users. You've done everything that's required to get it there. Now you're skipping ahead, Ben, so you clearly know where to go.
I do.
Go back to tenant administration.
Let's do it. Sorry, I got excited. So we're going tenant administration, connectors and tokens, and straight away we're in the store for business, and we're just going to click sync.
That's correct. And in a minute that will show up. So while that's syncing, we are going to get a second app. Now this one is going to be the Solitaire collection.
Yes.
So go ahead and search for that. And you'll find that there are 28 versions of Solitaire available in the store, and none of them, even if you keep going and just take my word for it, it is not here. It is not listed. It is not one that you can find.
The interesting thing, if you go back previous on that page for me, Ben.
Yeah. Not 28 things, is it?
There's not 28 items on that screen.
Oh, there's not. No, okay, interesting.
There's not even 25 on that screen. There's only 10.
Yeah,
seems to be a little bit of a bug there too, huh?
Yeah.
It could be one of the filters on the side. I don't know, but that's definitely strange.
Interesting.
Okay, so Ben, you've got another tab open, and I'd like you to open that. And so this is a Microsoft Doc article about the different apps that are included in Windows 10. And it hasn't been updated yet for Windows 10 2004, but it's I actually did a PR on this earlier this week, so hopefully they'll get some updates in. So if you scroll on down, you will see that so that first PowerShell command line there is what you would normally do to go and check and see what's provisioned on your machine.
Yeah.
And it would spit out the list of names on the left there, the package name.
These ones
and unfortunately, what you'll find is so that second one says Bing Weather. But if you were to search for Bing Weather in the store, either the business store or your Windows or your just regular store app, you won't find Bing Weather. You'll find MSN Weather. And it's well, how do I know that that's the right one? How do I know that that is the app that ties to it? Well, fortunately, Microsoft has actually mapped that for us. So they're showing you this is the new app name that goes with that, and gives you some info about it. Now, if you scroll on down to the Solitaire collection, fortunately, that one is named the right way. So go ahead and click that link for me and hit open.
Oh,
and this should open up your store app on your workstation.
Which Ben isn't sharing.
Which I'm not sharing, but yeah, okay.
Well, you're going to need to share it.
Okay.
Up the store.
Hang on. Give me 1 second.
This is critical. We need to see this.
It's very important. All right, I can do that. I'm back.
Okay. So, oh, and it's installed on your machine. Okay, so do you see the share icon underneath the name there on the left? On the left,
Yeah,
right there. Yeah, go ahead and click that, and there will be a pop-up window, which also is not on the
browser, I'm sure, because
no. So I've got a share screen saying no contact, no problem. Select to turn on to nearby sharing. Copy link.
So
copy
do you want
link.
to share
That's
the
the
whole
one.
screen if you can, or is it just going to be?
He's got a large monitor. It's going to be awful.
Got a very large monitor. That's okay. Let's.
We've got a blog post you can reference. It's got a screenshot in it. We'll have it in the description if you don't know. But anyway, there's a copy link.
I can see. Yeah, I can see on my screen. It literally just says copy link. So I'm going to copy link.
Okay. So minimize that and go back to your browser.
So unshare, reshare.
Yep. Oh, I got it. All right. Cool. I've copied that link.
Okay. Paste it in your browser. Okay. So now you noticed there was it said product ID, and then it had this the last piece of that code with the 9 there was what you pasted. So if you don't mind, just repaste that. Okay. So that is a unique identifier for the app, but it's not enough to get it into the business store. So go back to the business store for a minute while we're here.
Okay.
Just select MSN Weather, and then look at the address there. So you notice that it has the unique identifier, but it also has MSN Weather. So, so the unique combination of the app name and that number are required. The GUID there are required for this to work. So go back to Solitaire. So the reason we went to this to follow the store link is to get the go ahead and navigate now. You can go ahead and navigate to it. So I'll come back to that bit in a minute. So just go ahead and copy that piece out. That's
Microsoft. Yep, that whole thing.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. And then go back to your business store and paste it in after the word details. Yep. Now hit enter.
Look at that.
And wow. So it's a hidden app that's on the store that we now have access to. So
that's cool.
Go ahead and get the app. And then we're going to go back into the Intune portal and sync it. And while that's syncing, I'll kind of go back to that Microsoft doc and talk through that in just a minute. Okay, so that'll sync. So go back to the Microsoft doc. So the reason why this doc was important is that if you were to search by app name in the store where you got Solitaire from, so the link that took you to was the actual the consumer version of the Microsoft Store, right? Yep. So if you were to go there and search for some of these items, even using the app name in the second column there, some of them don't actually show up in that store. So Microsoft is providing us with the hidden link even for those items. So if you scroll down to Xbox, there's an Xbox extensions the Xbox game bar, I think, is the one we want.
Gaming overlay?
Nope, the one above it.
Oh,
and this is where the names are actually wrong. I've put this in my PR to hopefully get that fixed. But so go ahead and click that and do the same thing. We don't have to show it, but go ahead and copy the link back out. Out of
Isn't Game Bar in the store for business natively?
I don't think so.
Some of it is, but some of it isn't.
Yes, Xbox Game Bar is there by default.
But that's not this one.
So like a plugin.
So the one that you just clicked, pull up its link and do the share and see what it brings up.
Ah, interesting.
The other piece that's interesting about it is this actually is not an available app to get. So you'll see that in a minute. So I'm bringing this up because there are some that appear to not be apps that we can do this with, the solution here. So this one says this app is unavailable. So so we're kind of limited. So you may still see this installed on a profile, but I believe that it's not impactful. I think the GUI piece that would be, that would show up for the users hopefully won't show up. The Microsoft Pay is another one, which is what was it called? There's a different name for it. So Wallet, it was called Wallet. Now it's Microsoft Pay. Also is not one that you can do that with. So I don't know the significance, but like we've tried to remove pay because we don't want people storing their credit card information in their company computers. But you can't remove it this way. But just, pointing that out just in case you kind of get stuck there and say, hey, why aren't these available? So they're hidden, but even still, they're not quite accessible. But if you don't need to remove pay, if you don't care about that one, then cool. Then this solution is great. So if you end up having to use PowerShell and this other option, then
so be it.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm giving you the best I can. Okay, so let's check and see if our sync has finished. Go. And so now we've got the solitaire and we've got mail and calendar. Perfect.
Sweet.
Okay.
Let's do mail and calendar.
Yep. So this one's a really common one that I get almost like at the start of any engagement, any Intune project is, how do we get rid of the mail app? And I mean, the first thing that I say is, this isn't important right now. Can we please focus on more important things? But it is, like, in reality, it is important, because I understand the frustration that the end user, say we don't wait for Office to be installed. The first thing that user is going to do is they're going to open email and they see mail on the taskbar. They're going to click on it, and it's it's not Outlook. So I get,
it's confusing.
I get the urgency to remove it. So okay, so what are we going to do here?
So you simply we would need to have a group that we want to deploy this to, and we've talked about numerous times the fact that we never want to select all users or all devices.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we may create a group that includes all users and all devices, but the reason we use the group is it gives us a layer of abstraction to be able to explicitly target who we want and be able to control whether all users really means all users at the time for that particular thing that we want to deploy to. So create a group with all users in it, essentially, is what we want. Which we've already got.
Let's just check that, because I haven't looked in here for a while.
Yeah.
So one
let's
of them.
Just select the Intune license.
Intune license?
Yeah. Yep. That should
cool.
have.
So we'll use. It's probably just got the three of us, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Sweet.
Perfect. So then we go back to the app.
Just copy this. Yep. So we're doing mail and calendar.
Yep.
And then we're going to go to properties and scroll down to edit on assignments. And on the last box, there's an uninstall. And we do add group. There we go.
That's it.
View and save, and the next time my machine checks in, it's going to get that. Now go ahead and do the solitaire one as well, so we don't have to switch screens back and forth.
Sure.
And as always, we have not actually pre-tested this, so
it's overrated. All right,
got some VMs spinning up. Okay, so that's it. So we have now deployed the uninstall for 2 built-in inbox apps to my user account. So I'm going to take over.
What I was going to say is we can actually go to the portal and see it being applied to your device as well.
Oh, actually, that's true. It was a little premature of me. Let me share my screen. So if we go into mail and calendar now.
Yep. Well,
it may take a little while.
If we go to devices on the left-hand side, and now we're going to go to Windows.
Yep.
And then we're going to select Adam's device, which is 726. Yep. And then we're going to go to Managed Apps down the bottom.
Yep.
And this is what you'll see here, and why we're bringing this up is you'll see that we have Company Portal requires installed, but Microsoft Solitaire Collection required uninstall, and Mail and Calendar is required uninstall. So these will explicitly send that uninstall command to the device, which is awesome.
Yeah, and it's also really important for, I know I've got quite a lot of friends and colleagues and stuff that are moving from Config Manager to Intune, and one of the biggest complaints or the biggest things that they're saying is that I feel like I'm losing the level of verbosity in being able to know what's happening. This pane is really important to know that it exists, because not only do we have the ability to sort of see the status of applications, whether they're installing or uninstalling or whether they're available, but we also have the ability to drill into device configuration and stuff. It's not what we're talking about right now, but I really want to sing the praises of this pane of glass, because it's really, really valuable.
And the other thing that we can do, so if we select, say, the Microsoft Edge stable item there, Ben, we can see it pop up, and you'll see the status of that application. So you can see when we created it, when it was updated, when it was assigned to the group, and when the installation was successful on the device.
It's really, really cool. I'm going to kick off a sync on this machine before I
just wait.
Okay, I'll wait.
It's powered off. You guys were filling airtime while I was trying to enable a TPM on it.
I see. Okay. Well, that's fine. While you're doing that, let's have a look at device config as well, because this stuff's really cool. So you can actually see the status of all of the different policies that we're pushing out. And if you drill into them, you can actually see all of the different settings that you're deploying in that policy and see whether they're successful. So,
and if there's conflicts or errors, it's super important to go in here and make sure that everything is applying successfully. If it's not, fix it, please.
Yeah. One of the more frustrating things is sometimes the details that you get on errors isn't super helpful, but knowing that something failed is better than not knowing anything at all. I had a scenario recently that BitLocker was failing, and it's only one part of BitLocker. The error doesn't really help me a great deal, but I know that I can at least sort of identify that there was a failure there, and I can work on that. So it's quite handy to know that.
Okay, I am ready to go.
Sweet. Let me stop sharing.
Okay. All right, let's see if we can make this work. Come on, thing. Love how this works. Okay, so I was logged in a minute ago, and then I shut down because I didn't have TPM enabled and it was not meeting compliance. So I restarted and turned it back on.
Cool.
So we will see. So I'm hoping that it will just be taking it off right here in the background. There we go. Now we got full screen. This was one of our early videos where we were trying to set the background, and this is how it came out. So you're welcome, folks. Okay, so you can see the solitaire is still here, and the mail and calendar is still here. Sorry?
And the mail app's still there, yeah.
Yeah, and the mail app is still here.
Yeah.
So then go ahead and kick off the sync on your side there, Ben.
Yep. Doing that now. Okay. So it also bears noting that me hitting sync and you recently turning your device on, it's kind of a redundant task. So turning the machine on and immediately going to initiate a sync, but it's fine.
Yeah, and didn't we discover there was a cool thing here?
Yeah, So
you right-click on your company portal, and you can just sync this device directly from the right-click, which is pretty cool.
I feel like there's probably a really big conversation that we could have around does the company portal sync and the system sync do different things, or are they faster? Because to be completely honest, and I don't have any scientific data to back this up, but going into settings, accounts, info, and hitting sync, I have more success than I do than syncing from the company portal. I don't know whether that's because it's coming from the user context as opposed to the device context, which is what I believe the difference between the two is. I don't know, but I mean, at least with this, I get last attempt data, which is great. And also we can do advanced diagnostic reports from the same pane. So, it's quite handy. But yeah, it's interesting. If anyone knows whether one or the other is better or different, or it'd be really good to know.
Yep.
So this one is potentially having some compliance issues, but hopefully we're good. It's going to work.
Should still.
But it says that it's synced a minute ago, so it should have removed these apps by now. But
it's still waiting for install status. This could take a little while to kick in.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. Okay, so this is the I guess the way that we led into this. The idea here is that these apps, I'm not concerned about the presence of these apps from a security type perspective.
Yeah.
It is simply for a user experience perspective.
Exactly.
If it takes a login or two for these apps to go away after we deliver a machine to a user or after they autopilot the machine or
So be it.
whatever, I'm not terribly concerned about the speed at which these apps are removed, as long as they get removed. And so, that's kind of the message here is, I don't really care if it takes a little, but I mean, we are trying to record.
What I would say, what I'd also add to that is, don't think adding it to your ESP as a app that must run before signing in is a good thing, because it will not work because it's sitting there and expecting the app to be installed for ESP tests, not uninstalled. So
don't try to be tricky about this. Just set it and know that it will go away eventually.
Yes.
That's all you need to know.
Exactly.
One of the big things that I really sort of push and evangelize is user education in this scenario. So you may be in a scenario where you've spent years maintaining a standard operating environment or a managed operating environment, and the end users are used to having that perfect magic gold image when they sign in for the first time.
They don't need it.
They don't need it. So the education part is just advising and just letting the users know that the software will be there, the user experience will be perfect. When you first sign in, it sets things up for you. So it's not going to be perfect immediately, but that's fine. And that's a bigger sort of cultural transition that you need to make within your organization. But it is really important that you get that across.
Yeah, the change management's super important. You always want to make sure that you're having that communication. If you're not having that communication, then you're going to end up in a situation where you're always having to spoon feed your customers and always having to spoon feed your end users. They expect this high level of standard. And we're not saying don't give them the high level of standard. What we're saying is set expectations that they can self-service, because it'll become a self-fulfilling prophecy of, I just go and help myself.
And this is one of the, so this is the big thing around this is, this was a conversation that I've been having for the last probably 5 years, is that people aren't scared of self-servicing applications now. The push for everyone having super powerful mobile phones with app stores basically changed everyone to understanding that there are places that you can get software. It wasn't a thing 5-6 years ago, and people were really restrictive and aggressively abrasive against doing things themselves. But now, if you tell anyone, there's a store in the app, or there's an app on the store that you can just go and get, they know what you're talking about. They will do it.
Allow Google and Apple to have conditioned your staff and customers to do it. That they can self-service.
It's the same thing with updates as well, honestly. It's the amount of people who they see an update prompt on their phone, they go, I'm going to update. That carries across to your corporate environment now. You get that prompt on your screen saying, hey, there's an update, a reboot needs to happen. They know that they're getting something new. They don't go, this is going to kill my productivity. I mean, sure, some people probably do.
If you're my father-in-law, that's exactly what you do. You just he's on iOS 9 or something, and he just refuses to upgrade.
Exactly.
I know many people that don't like doing updates or don't do updates.
So do I, but I'm more talking about the concept that it's not a scary thing anymore.
That's right.
Yeah. So look, I think that the reason that this isn't actually actively happening is because we're doing this in 2 different time zones. and the sync on my end is ahead of your time. Very real scenario.
Intune uses UTC, but it could be that it needs to replicate. And we've had this before.
It could be. So,
oh, hey, look, guys, it's gone. Look at that. We did it.
Team, including
So,
yep.
yeah. So
can you go into the company portal and I just want to see a thing. If you go into installed apps, does it show you that it was removed?
Or at least show it there.
I don't know. Nope.
No, okay. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know.
So we need to remember that in the next videos, we need to have machines located in Australia that we're running on because our tenant's in Australia. Because I think we're just running into time zone problems here. So, and we don't have to draw it out as long next time.
Yeah.
Hey, it worked. Way.
Hey, go team.
All right. Awesome.
It's worth. Can I quickly just make a mention of something? It's worth noting that I still don't have an update on the portal backend advising me that it's been uninstalled. That is because it requires another couple of like synchronizations to actually pull that data off the device back into the portal. So what you're looking at in the portal is not live data. Don't mistake it for being live data. Just understand that it is there. And it's helpful for reporting, but you can't use it for like immediately knowing exactly what's happening.
Exactly.
Good note. All right. Well, let's end on a successful demo, boys.
Hell yeah, you did it.
Yay. Go team.
All right. See you next time.
See ya.
See you next time.